Mhm. Okay, you guys. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. Happy Friday. Whew. Feels like the week just went by really fast, and I'm glad because I am like exhausted. You guys, I'm still on break until Monday, and it's back to being a mom. I mean, I'm a mom every day, but it's back to being a mom. Back to getting my kids up for school at 4:30. Right, they have to get up at 4:30, especially my oldest to catch the bus. And then, I have to get my two youngest kids up around 5:30. So I do let them sleep in an extra 10 minutes because one of their buses comes at 6, and then, well, right at 6, like a quarter to 6. And my two youngest their buses come between like 7 o'clock, and um my son's bus comes like at 7:50. Okay. So it's back to being a mom. It's back to dealing with the schooling. It's the ironing the uniforms every day. It's the um getting them on the bus. It's just a lot. You hold on a second. Okay, you guys, I'm back. I had a phone call. So yeah, I'm definitely just getting some stuff, taken care of with my kids. I'm getting the proper documentation for the bus changes and all that stuff there. So I'm just getting all of the documentations together, and then, when the time comes for my kids with the buses, all of this stuff will be updated pertaining to that. But um I just wanted to get on here, to jump on here, to let you guys know that I don't know how you single women are out here coping right now. But if you are a single woman with kids, you know that your priorities with your kids come first. And right now, my kids come first pertaining to their education, and of course, me being a mom. And then not only that, I'm not only just a mom. I'm a college student here in the next 4 weeks. Um, and even though I won't be in college very long, and I will be starting in October. October to November is, 1 month. November to December is 2 months. December to January is three. From January to February would be four. and so on. I'm looking at about maybe 6 to 8 months of schooling. That in itself can get pretty draining, going back to school, taking care of kids, move, and me running my business full time. Even though I dropped my hours, yeah, I dropped my hours from, what I originally had, which was from 10 to 6. I'm now going to be running my practice literally um, part time on Mondays and Fridays, and then full time from Tuesdays to Thursdays. So all of that will be the new changes, you guys. Will be the new changes. So um, I'm just letting you guys know, what's going on in these new changes that are ahead. Okay. And I just don't know, what women are expecting, you know, other women to do who are choosing to be single and choosing not to deal with these men. And it's quite draining. And all you men want women to do is serve you and serve into the patriarchal system. Let me explain something to you. Just with me running my practice and going to school and doing the mentorship program, that's 60 hours a week. I do not have time for a man. I don't have time for any of you men. I'm sorry. Between me running my practice at least 35 hours a week, because 2 of those hours have to go to my mentorship program, and that in itself is a part of my sponsorship and my business. Me doing that, um, literally, um, you can just say 3 hours a month, because not all the time am I working with my mentee for 1 hour. I may have to do an hour and a half with my mentee. That in itself is roughly 3 hours a month with her, and then me running my practice, and sometimes a little over gap. I'm still sitting at 35 hours a week. And then when you factor in me going to school, 9 hours a week, that's what there's 4 out. There's literally 7 days in a week. That's 4 week. That's nine hours per week. That's literally 36 hours a week. That's full time. So not only am I running my business full time, I'm also in school full time. Plus, I'm a full time mom. Getting up at 4:30 until, I don't know, like 5:30, getting my kids on the bus between 6 and you can just say 8. So I'm literally up between 4:30 and 8 o'clock, getting my kids on the bus. Yeah. 8 o'clock is when my son is the last to get on the bus. Yesterday morning, his bus came after 8. This morning, it came about 7:50. So I say 8 o'clock. And then when my kids are on the bus and they're gone to school, I then have to turn around 2 hours later and run my practice. And see, that little 2 hour window that I have from 8 to 10, that's time for school. So the minute I put my son on the bus, I have to then go do class for 2 hours and, you know, run my practice between 10 and 2. Then my oldest daughter gets out about 2:30 from school, right? And then, I have to then run my practice um, literally between when my practice is closed at 2 o'clock on Mondays. I then, have to deal with my kids who get in between 2 and 4. Okay. So anything after 4, it's literally fix supper and get my kids ready for, supper, get them situated and help them with homework and get them out of the way. And then maybe before it's time to go to bed, because I normally have my kids in the bed around 8:30. 9 o'clock at the latest. They've ate supper and everything. I can maybe have a little bit of quiet time to catch up on some study. I'm just letting you guys know what my schedule looks like Monday through Friday. When I'm not on here, like when I'm on here running my practice, it's on a half a day. It's on a day where I don't have a lot of clients and I'm not booked up for the week, etc. My busiest days would be Tuesdays to Thursdays. My half a days and all possible days would be on Mondays and Fridays. Today is my off day. Why? Because I did not have a lot of clients booked this week for follow-ups. Okay. And if I don't have any intakes at the beginning of the week, then I know what my schedule looks like for the remainder of the week. My caseload was 26 clients a week, but since I've dropped down my hours, my caseload has now gone from 26 clients per week to, and I take that back. It wasn't 26 clients for the week, for the month. I was doing 6 clients a week. So that's like, I don't know, that's like, what is that? 36 clients for the month. So since I've dropped everything down, I'm looking at about 20 clients for the month. Okay. So that's about how many clients I have, and I'm saying anywhere from 6 to 7 clients a week before I drop my hours down. I'm having brain fog right now. So I'm now down to 6 clients a week. That's 20 clients for the month. And that's still a big caseload. 6 clients a day is a lot of people. And when I say 6 clients a day, you guys, I'm talking about how many clients I'm willing to accept for the day. Because working with each client, that's literally an hour for each client. So if my first client is at 10 o'clock, my last client would probably be around 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening. And it factors on what's going on with my client and um, the challenges that we may have, the challenges they may have. It's depending on modality approaches. It's just depending on a lot right now. It depends on each client. Each client that I see isn't the same. I may have someone who comes and see me who's dealing with anxiety and weight loss issues and things like that. So I have to approach different, and I work with about 6 to 8 modalities. All of this stuff is on my website. So me working with those different modalities with my clients, that time can very well be overdrawn. And I do have it scheduled for 15 minutes per client, but sometimes there may be a little over gap. It may be 55, it may be in exactly 1 hour where I have to follow up with that client via email, via text, or something like that. Just want you guys to understand. Hold on a second, you guys. Okay, you guys. Hopefully, you guys can hear me. I'm back. I don't even see how many people are in the live. Okay, there we go. So, where was I at? It's just like you men just want women to just stop living, to just serve you guys, and to support the patriarchal system. And women who are working, taking care of kids, going to school, running businesses, working more than one job. We don't have time for that, then. We don't have time. I'm sorry. We don't have time. I literally do not have time to be dealing with a man or supporting the patriarchal system. I don't have time for that. No. And it's like, you men is like, okay, well, if you don't want to have kids, you don't want to have a family, you don't want to get married, what other purpose are you to the system? Women do have lives outside of you men. You do realize that, like, we do have to pay bills, we have to eat, we have to survive, we have to take care of our kids. And the ding, 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 we cannot rely on most of you to do that. We can't rely on most of you to be these, I don't know, providers that the patriarchal system said you were. We don't have time to sit around and wait on you men to be like, oh my God, when is your rent due? And oh my God, let me pay your rent. And oh my God, we don't want women who are masculine. Well, what do you want women to do? Because if we sit around and we wait on you men to pay the bills and to be men for us, we're going to be on the outside looking in. You do realize that times have changed. We're no longer in the 1950s, okay? Back then, rent used to be extremely cheap. You could buy a home for little or nothing. Now you damn near need 3 incomes just to survive, to pay the rent. And speaking of the rent nowadays is equivalent to a mortgage note. So 10 years ago, you could be able to rent an apartment for $600. In 2025, it's now here, it's like the cheapest apartment where I live right now. You can't make this shit up. $1,600 for a 2-bedroom apartment. And they've gone up at this apartment complex. It used to be like 1,400, and then when you add in water, sewage, and trash, it came out to be like 15 something. Now it's like 16 something. So we're literally, and then if you get a 3-bedroom apartment, it's like $1,800. You men are asking women to stop functioning, to wait on you men to be men. And what are we supposed to do? Like, be homeless? Not have money to eat? Not be able to take care of our kids that we've had with you until you decide when you're going to be a man? You said you don't want single mothers. You don't want college educated women. You don't want women past the age of 30 and all these expectations you men have. Right? So women have no choice but to get out here and survive and take care of themselves and their children until one day, I don't know, God blesses them with a man, you know? But women who are in this subcategory of women that you men said that you don't want, we cannot sit around and wait on you men. And I'm literally watching my sister right now sit around and wait on her husband. The sister that was in Florida who had to come back home because she wasn't making any money, and her husband is living his best life and traveling the world. He's getting ready to go to Saudi Arabia. He's in the military. He's going to get out here and live his best life. And what is she doing? Stuck stuck, not doing anything with her life, and waiting on her husband to decide when he's going to be done with the military, when his contract is up, and to come home to be a husband and to take care of his wife and their daughter. And she's now at her mother-in-law's house, and she gave up her house to go be with him to support him in the military. She gave up her home that she could have almost been done paying for. She gave that up to go support her husband's dreams, and is now stuck in her mother-in-law's house until her husband is done with the military. So when he goes in Saudi Arabia for 6 months, he's going to come back. He's going to be home for about a month, and then he's got to go back out and do more time. And I've dated a military man. Let me tell you something. Never again will I ever date a military man. And I come from a military family, but there's just no effing way I would have the patience for that, and all of the traveling and all of the relocation. And this is what I'm talking about with you women who just want to put everything on the back burner to support your husbands, to support your boyfriends, give up your life, your dreams. And her house could have been paid for. She could have been in her home. She wouldn't have to be living with her mother-in-law if she had stayed where she was and let her husband went to Florida for those 2 years. Um, but see, this is what happens when you date military men or men who are serving. When your husband is stationed somewhere, you have to go where your husband goes. She was not going to Saudi Arabia. And the military was going to pay for her and her daughter to go to Saudi Arabia. Now, my sister has an older son, and she had to end up letting her older son go live with his dad in Arkansas because of the constant traveling and relocation that her husband is doing by him being in the military. And actually, my sister's ex, that she had with her first fiance husband, first, her son's dad, right? He served in the military. I have a niece who served in the military, and her boyfriend served in the military. I have uncles who have served in the military. I've dated military men, and it's the constant traveling, constantly, all the time. She has to wait on her husband to come back from Saudi Arabia so that they can buy their house. I rest my case. She got to wait on her husband to come back from Saudi Arabia to buy their home. She gave up her cosmetology stuff for 2 years to support her husband. They came by here yesterday, and I'm like, WTF, like, I was just sitting there thinking about her. I'm like, girl, you could have you, you could have stayed home, let your husband get deployed for those 2 years. The house could have been paid for and all that time there, right? And you could have been at home for those 2 years, right? It's crazy. He's young, she's young, and it's like, I don't know, you guys, it's crazy. And she's like, okay, Akina's getting ready to move into her home, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm getting ready to move into my house in like a couple of weeks. I don't know, you guys. It's probably going to end up, she's going to end up staying with me. I don't know, you guys. It's crazy. But this is what happens when you women get out here and you serve these men. You got to like put everything on the back burner for a man to appease the patriarchal system. Just like the sister who's pregnant right now, it's always you women having to serve these damn men. And when my sisters look at me, it's like, you're traveling, you're making money, you're running a business. What the hell? And here I'm with the man, I'm with my husband, because all of my sisters are married. Other than me, I have no brothers. And it's like, okay, Akina's out here living her best life. You guys, when I get ready to move, I'm gonna be taking a vacation with the friend girl who is from Baton Rouge, who's in her big house and travels for work. I'm getting ready to take a vacation with her, right? And my kids are gonna be here with grandmother while I'm out of town. So I can make money and still travel. Okay? I don't have to be at home to make money. I can make money while I'm on vacation. And my ex-husband is like, what? So, and here we go. You know, you're traveling, you're making money. The kids are going to be with your grandmother and me. What are you doing with your life? I'm living my best life, and this is what single women can do. Like, I don't have to be home to make money. If Akina wants to run her practice while I'm on vacation, I can do that. I can say, hey, okay, I'm on a 3-day vacation. Maybe the second day I'll run my practice and make money while I'm traveling still. I mean, it is what it is. I don't have to be at home to make money. And see, when you can work from home and you can run your own business, you can set the hours that you want. And my sister's like, you're running a business, you're traveling. Here I'm married and she's restricted, you guys. Like, her husband does not want her to buy a home or do anything until he comes back. Nope. Same thing with all my sisters. It's all about what these men want. You married women, you guys do not have any freedom. I'm sorry. You don't have any freedom. You're restricted, baby. And see, my ex-husband can't restrict me because I have sole custody of our kids because of his work hours. And the courts felt like I was the better parent in raising our children. Because the judge was like, Miss Aquino, what do you do? And I told the judge, oh, I run a business from home, sir. Oh. Oh yeah. The judge was like, oh, let me check out your website. And he went there and he's like, you did this? That's right. Get the fuck out of here. He says, you're young. How old are you? He was like, you look really, you guys, it look like I can pass for 26. It's like, you're running a business? And Max was like, I had no idea. Since he's lying, he knew I had a practice. Now, whether he believed it was legit or not, that's for him to decide. To see, my ex-husband, he does not know that I'm also an international travel agency on top of the business. He doesn't know that part. And it's like, wow, so you're running a business and all this stuff here. And it's like, how dare you run a business and have a life outside of me? And you guys, I've been divorced from my ex-husband over 10 years. I didn't think I had to check in with him about shit. But see, you married women, you guys don't have any freedom. You don't have no freedom, honey. Especially when you and that man's values does not align. Now, if you're married and your husband's values and everything aligns, you guys are going to do the same thing together, right? You're going to follow the same path. But when your values don't align and you men are with women who are not your dream women, nothing that you guys do is going to match. And I hate to say that. And Mary Jane actually just did a video exposing women who married to men, or men who married to women, and there is regret. There's regret there because some of you men are just settling for women that you know you're not compatible with. Is me and my ex-husband compatible? No, we're not compatible pertaining to core values. And the reason why is because I've over evolved him. So you men, you get out here and you settle for women who don't align with where you're at in life, and you don't align with where they're at in life. So what am I saying? I'm not about to give up anything for you men anymore. Okay. My oldest is a teenager now. My second to oldest will be a teenager in less than 5 months. My youngest is my son. He'll be the last to leave the chicken coop. I'm not about to raise any more babies. My child rearing days are over. My sister is pregnant. I'll probably play around with her baby, be a good auntie to her baby. And my little niece who's a baby, like 4-year-old, a toddler. I'm not going back through this again. I just can't go back through that, you guys. When I sit here, and if the good Lord even made it available for me to get pregnant again, there's just absolutely no way I can do that over again. I'm extremely fertile, but no, I can't do that one there. No, mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. And when I look at all of my sisters, they're restricted. They're restricted, you guys. They have no freedom. It's all about what these men say. Um, it's all about serving the system. It's all about serving these men. When I look at each one of them, it's all about serving these men, all about them, all dependent on them. They can't do what I do, you guys. No, they can't do what I do. Meaning they just can't get up and travel and do nothing of what I'm doing. No, it's crazy. The sister who's pregnant, she's been talking about going back to school, but her baby daddy's like, no, I don't want you to. Why do you not want your baby mama to go back to school? Because you sure in the hell can't take care of that kid that she's caring for you, and you can't take care of the kid that she's already had. What the fuck? He's like, no, I'm gonna go get a job. It's like, here we go. You gotta wait on these men to be men. And it's like, oh, she's like, yeah, because he said he's gonna get a job before the baby comes. Girl, he should have had a fucking job like last year. Like, what? And then like, well, yeah, Auntie Akina's gonna be here for me. No, no, no. No, I'm not. I can't keep doing this shit, you guys. I can't keep being the scapegoat for you men anymore. I can't do it. I just cannot fucking do it. I can't do it. I cannot do it. Every time my sisters get cut short, they need money to eat, the baby, and I'm gonna do for my nieces and nephews because they didn't ask to come here. But to sit down and be the scapegoat because you men are not men, I can't do that. I cannot do that. I'm not about to do that. I will go out of my way for my nieces and nephews and anybody who has kids that need. But if you got a man actively in the house that's not doing anything to take care of you and your kids, I'm not about to do that shit. So what am I saying? My sisters and my family look up to me like I'm the rich auntie. Akina's going to bail us out. No, Akina ain't going to do shit. I'm not going to do this shit. You men need to you need to be men. Because no married woman has no business out here needing anything from anybody when she's with you. Okay? My sister should not be calling home about they need money, they need this or that. You men said that you're going to take care of these women. Okay? When you went and you married these women, okay? And you said to death do us part, uh-huh. You said that you were going to take care of these women. You were going to provide a home for them. You were going to feed them and shelter them and clothe them. And that goes for the children as well. It's not women's responsibility like mine's to clean up you men's shit. But I will go out of my way for my nieces and nephews. But I cannot keep taking on the loads for you men. Okay? Yeah, but my family looks up to me like I'm the rich auntie. I'm Mrs. Baller. I got it. I'm slanging. I can do this. I can do that. I'm the person that everybody comes to when they need to get out of the bullshit that they're in. And I'm not about to be this person. Okay. I never was, never will be. And I told my sisters, y'all are with these men. What the fuck are they doing? What are they doing? What are they not doing? Whatever they're not doing, they need to get it together. Okay. They need to get this shit together. I can't do this one here. But yeah, they're very restricted, you guys. They're very restricted. When I say restricted, they can't do anything without these men's approvals. Mm-mm. And here in the state of Louisiana, when you divorce a man, that's got to be a mutual agreement. You just can't wally on down to the divorce court and says, hey, I want to divorce this man because of this, and that. If that man ain't in agreement with that divorce, it ain't going to happen. And it's crazy, you guys. And this is why I keep telling you guys, being a pick me and being male centered does not get you anywhere. My sister used to brag, yeah, because when you get married, I'm gonna do your hair. I'm like, girl, don't do this. Don't do this. And she's like, what? No. Did she do my hair for my first marriage? No, she didn't. Because my hair got done in Ireland, where me and my ex-husband got married. Yeah. I told her, no, ma'am. No. She says, why? What? And she's like, what? You don't want to get married? I'm looking at her and her husband in their marriage when shit was rocky. Girl, you crazy? She's like, what? You don't want to get married? No. And when I look at my sisters and their marriages, no, absolutely not. Nope. What is Akina going to do? Akina's going to keep on making money. Okay. I'm going to be the rich auntie and I'm just going to spoil babies because there is just absolutely no way I'm about to give up anything else for a man. I can't do that one. I gave up 10 years of my life for my ex-husband and following the system and being this virgin when I got married and giving him babies and doing everything that the traditional system said. And it just, I did everything right, you guys. And no, I can't do it. No. And even if, let's say hypothetically, God forbid, something happened to my ex-husband's wife and he wants to, no. I told him, nope. When you get married again, I will be there to support you at the next wedding. No. He says, really? No. We've grown apart. What we had is over. Our kids they're getting bigger now. We're not going back through this again. We have an amazing relationship, co-parenting. I'm not going through this again. No, no, absolutely not. No. I've lived with a man for 10 years. I'm not going through this again. No, absolutely not. I don't want to live with another man again. Um, I need my space. I need my space. I need to be in my house to myself. Yes, I have my home in Ireland. If shit gets bad here, we could just leave. Okay. Yes, I have my beach home that my ex-husband gave me. Okay. No, no, absolutely not. No. And you guys can call me a spinster. I don't care. When you've dealt with men for a very long time, you get to this place, honey. When you have babies, you get to this place of being tired. And I'm at a point in my life right now. Number one, I got too much shit going on. Okay. Number two, my little life is already created. Okay. And I built my life outside of my ex-husband. Okay. And it's a life to make me comfortable and to keep the kids comfortable. Okay. Where at any time, if they ever want to come home, they can come home. If they ever leave the coop and they ever want to come home. My son said he never wants to leave the coop. I says, son, I love you, but I want all of my children to be happy. And, the same thing for my youngest daughter. She says, I'm never going to leave home. I have to keep my home open for my children, okay, in case they ever want to come home. And I'm going to make sure that they are covered so that they can come back home. So it's a no. It's a no, you guys. I cannot go back through this again. You know, with going through this again, the cycle all over again, looking at my sister be pregnant. Do I miss those days? Yes, I do. Would I advise any of you to get pregnant in this day and time? No. Way too expensive to be having babies out here. Way too expensive to be having babies out here. Back then, when I had my kids, formula was less than $20. Now, for a can of Enfamil or Similac, you're going to pay more for Similac. You're looking at anywhere from 30 to 40, even $60. Anywhere from 30 to $60 on formula. Absolutely not. And I had to go buy Dr. Brown bottles, um, those expensive bottles, because my kids would not suck on those cheap bottles. No, I had to go buy name brand Dr. Brown and what's that other kind with the big wide nipples on there? Yeah, I had to go buy the breast pumps and all that stuff there and the suctions. And the maternity clothing, and it's so expensive to have kids. And you have men out here, they just want to have babies, babies, babies. Where is the money to take care of these kids? Who's going to take care of these kids that you men desperately want to have with these women? Where is this money coming from? Who's going to, and then you got to look at all of the health challenges in having a baby. Knock on wood, I survived every child rearing situation. I can tell you how many stitches I had and how long it took for me to get induced to even have my babies. My oldest daughter, her head was her head wasn't even aligned in my pelvical area. The doctors had to turn her head around just for me to have a C-section. Almost died having my son. But men want women to get out here and just have babies for them. What? Just get out here and have babies, not looking at the risk that comes with having a child and all of the complications that come with having a child. Black women are out here dying having babies. And my health can't allow me to get pregnant again. No. So it's a no. I love my children, but it's a no. It's a no, you guys. Mm-mm, no, no. I'm just gonna make money, be in my house in peace, and watch my children get bigger and live their lives because that's what I want them to do. I want them to live their best lives. And I want them to have everything that I did not have growing up. Okay. I want them to have that times 10. And I'm making it happen for my children where they're never ever going to have to need for anything ever a day in their life. You know, they'll have their first apartment, their fridge will be full in there. They will have money to cover their first month's rent because I'm going to make it happen. And I know that their father is too. That's what I'm talking about. I'm having dealing with another man. No, no. I've seen too much with you men, way too much with you guys. I have experienced too much. Um, I don't even want to have sex with you men. I don't. I'm just exhausted, you guys. So this is what happens with the patriarchal system. And you women who get out here, you get married 2 and 3 times. You've been married 10, 15 years, and you're just getting into these different marriages with these men. Honey, how are you doing that? You've been married for 10 years. You've been divorced for 10 years. Then you get back out here, you get married a second time. You've been married for 15 years. And then that didn't work out. And then I know somebody who's been married 3 damn times. Marriages have been the equivalent of 10-year gap scan. Absolutely not. My first marriage drained me, exhausted me. 10 years, 10 years, you guys. Not happening again. Not happening again. And I got married very young, very young. I'm talking about like in my early 20s married. Not happening again. No. When I finally got my freedom back from my ex husband, I built the life that I wanted. I don't know how you women are building lives with these men. Unless that man is walking in the same alignment with you and has the same core values as you, how are y'all out here building your life with these men? Because dealing with the patriarchal system, you're not centering these men. You're not dealing with them decenters them. When you're dealing with these men, you're literally centering your whole entire existence into serving them and the system. That's it. That's it. And when you don't want to conform to that and you don't want to participate in that by getting married or having babies or having sex with men, they tell you that you're useless. So, men, if you feel like I'm useless, so be it. I have peace. I have peace. Okay. I'm in the house. I'm not in there with you. My kids are not babies anymore. They're freaking teenagers. And I'm hey, that's a done deal. That's done for me. I'm in my house. I'm in peace. Ladies, when you've been married to a man, you've had children, you've been with a man for a very long period of time, honey, you will get to this place of where I'm at. You will get to this place. I've done my duty into civilization. There's nothing else that I can do out here for these men other than just get some eggplant here and there. But even that comes with challenges. And you know what's the crazy part about this and what's so scary about this is by the time these men do grow up and they get more mature, it's by the time they've hit the wall, it's by the time they're having ED and all these health challenges. They don't really want to settle down when they're young. They're not mature enough for that. Um, it seems to me like my sister should have not even got married to her husband She should have just waited until he lived his best life and did what he wanted to do before she chose to go and marry him, and all of this relocating and military traveling. It's just crazy what these men expect you to do to serve them in the system. And meanwhile, you're putting everything on the back burner. She's literally putting everything on the back burner to support her husband's dreams. Literally, that's what she's doing. She's aged since being married, you guys. She's aged. And that's what the patriarchal system does. It sucks you women dry. You're out here looking like prunes, and you're just looking like you've aged an additional 10 years. Meanwhile, I look very youthful and young and vibrant because I don't have these men out here sucking me dry. I don't have you men just taking my energy. Like, you're not going to suck me dry. Like, even having sex with you men is draining. Living with you men is draining. Dealing with you men in relationships is draining. And let's not even talk about the central nervous system that's always in flight or fight mode, where women's bodies are so overwhelmed from dealing with you men in the patriarchal system that it does not have time to rest. And when you're cooking and cleaning, having whoopee with the man, having babies with him, living vicariously, he's living through you, and vice versa. You don't have time to do shit. You don't even have time to do anything because you're cooking and cleaning, taking care of the kids, giving this man whoopee, having to deal with his emotional shit. What do you have time to do? You don't have time to do anything. You guys, I'm tired of my little schedule. So if you throw a man in the mix, what do I have time to do? I don't have time to do anything with the man outside of my own little regular schedule. I don't have time to do anything. I literally have time to do nothing. And if you're not validating these men, there's no use for you. They can't do anything with you if they can't be validated by you. So if you're not stroking their egos and giving them whoopee, then there's nothing that you can do. There's nothing that they can do with you. And there's nothing you can do for them. These men need to be validated 24/7. My advice to you younger ladies, live your best life. Do whatever it is that you want to do and do it vicariously through you. Be selfish, honey. Be selfish. Never ever put anything on hold for a man. Because down the road, these men will blame you for why you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, or want to be doing, or needing to be doing. They will start blaming you and resenting you for not doing anything in your life. They will start resenting you. They will start hating you when you don't have a life outside of them. And then they're going to get bored quick. And I noticed something yesterday with my sister when her husband went to sit down next to her. And she was like, "Why do you want to sit right here up under me in this little bitty space? You married women are not really happy. You're not happy." And the tension is there, because even married people need a break. I just don't know how you guys can be up under a man 24/7, all day, every day, up under a man. And these men want to be up under you 24/7. 20, no, I don't need a man up under me 24/7. No, if I'm gonna deal with you as a man, look, you're gonna come by and visit when I tell you to come by and visit me. I don't need you under me 24/7. You'll be lucky to see me once a month. That's it. You got to go back to your house. And I just don't know how you ladies are out here dealing with these men all day, every day. It's so exhausting serving the patriarchal system, isn't it? You're doing the same thing over and over and over again, cooking, cleaning, giving this man whoopee. I would be tired too. I would be tired too if that's all I've done every day, all day, every day, all day, every day, all day. I would get tired too. I would be tired too. If that's all I did every day, all day, and you have no life outside of dealing with these men, I would be tired. If you did that for months to years, the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Eventually, I would get tired of living like that. Um, versus when you're single, you don't have to deal with all that. You can live how you want to live and function how you want to function without any restrictions to a man. Um, and at any time you don't want to go along with the system, these men are ready to cheat. They're ready to commit adultery. They're ready to replace you if you're not serving them in the system. I'm telling women, if you're not willing to make that commitment and sacrifice, stay single. If you're not willing to give up everything that you want in your life to serve a man and to serve the system, stay single. I'm not giving up anything for these men. No, I'm not about to give up anything that I have going on. I'm not even gonna give up my house. I'm not giving up shit for these men. Akina's probably going to remain single until the end of time. And I'm gonna focus on my money and what I got going on and to the hell with these men. Um and none of my sisters are truthfully happy. They're not happy. And see, when you get married to these men, you gotta deal with the mother in laws. You gotta deal with that this man's family and everything that he has going on. I don't miss those days. Now, my ex husband's family in Ireland is amazing, but the other side of his family are horrible people. Um, you got to deal with the in laws. You got to deal with the drama that comes with the in laws and the other family members and all of that shit. No, I don't miss any of that, you guys. And my ex husband's family in Ireland, they absolutely love us. And if I really, really wanted to get married again, it would be with um, some men that I know in Ireland. Yeah, actually, my ex-husband's, I wouldn't call them best friends, but my ex-husband's friends that he knew back in Ireland. Let's just put it that way. So my ex-husband's best friend is in Ireland, and he's like, "What the hell has my friend done here? Do I need to come down and take care of my friend?" I'm like, "No, no. He's made his decision. We made this decision together." He's like, "But you're the mother of his children. What is going on here? Just know that if there's anything you and those kids need, I got you, because I literally was in your wedding." And I'm like, "I know you were in the wedding." He's like, "What is going on?" I don't know. It's like when you guys marry, you get married and you sign those marriage contracts, everything goes to hell in these marriages. You guys, when I get off of here, I need a drink. And he's like, "If there's anything you and those kids need, I got you. I got you. I got you." You guys, if I were to get married again, it would not be with another American man. And no, my ex husband is not from America. He's from Ireland. But coming here, I don't know, it does something to the men here. It ruins their minds here. When you men get into America and you start listening to Red Pill and all this shit here, your minds are corrupted. See, when I met my ex husband, I met him through some friends, but he traveled from overseas and came here. And now he's married to um, a bisexual woman who has really fucked up their marriage. At the end of the day, if I were to get married again, it would not be to an American man. I will tell you guys that, because Red Pill has ruined the minds of men here. Um, but I am covered out of this country, you guys, because my in-laws are over there in Ireland, and they're like, "Do we need to come get you? Because we don't do that here. We don't believe in divorce." And most Irish people are Catholic. They don't believe in that type of stuff with what's going on here. All of this gender war shit. They're like, "No, if that man marries you, he has to be with you. That's how it is." So, unfortunately, my ex husband has really angered his in laws. So, when my ex husband fucks up, he pays me. He pays me when he fucks up, because he thinks that's the way to kind of rekindle everything. No, it's not gonna rekindle shit. You need to fucking fix this shit. You need to grow up. And you men never grow up sometimes. You never really grow up, and I just don't know how you ladies are out here dealing with these men of today, and the draining energy that comes with them. It's just I just don't know how you guys do this shit. I cannot be in the same space with the man longer than 24 hours. When I tell you my little nerves are so thin now, they're really, really up thin wire. I'm just subject to look at you as a man and tell you, "Look, you need to go home. You need to get out of my house and you need to go home. I can't have a man around me for long periods of time. No overnight. No, you need to be in your own shit and you can come visit me on my time. But living with another man, no. Getting married again, no. Having any more children, no, no. I'm past that. I'm definitely past that." But all of my sisters have definitely aged since dealing with these men that they're with. They're miserable and they're restricted. Every last one of them. They have to wait on these men hand and foot to get their needs met. No, thank you. I'm gonna get off of here, you guys. I really need a drink. This is my little rest period before next week when I get busy again. So I will be enjoying this little break, you know, using this time to rest, recover, and of course heal. Yeah, you guys definitely have a good weekend. Take care and be safe, you guys. And stop censoring these men. Live your best life. Do whatever you're going to do and not wait around on a man to do anything. That's my advice. If you're going to get out here and you're going to deal with a man, live your best life. Stop putting your life on hold for a man because I'm not going to do it. I just, no, I would be in the same predicament if I sat around and I wait on a man like my sisters are waiting around on a man. Never going to happen. Again, back then I was young and naive and didn't know no better, but now, no, definitely living my best life. So let me get off of here, you guys.